Like, what was your okay, now I have to quote some movie or something
Okay,
because
please.
ये जवानी है and है दीवानी जो movie है, that actually strikes the most when you are talking about that night treks.
जीना
That
है लाइफ, घूमना है, मस्ती करना है, लोगों से मिलना है.
so like what was your that Kabir moment when you thought that यहाँ से अब
Oof,
निकलना पड़ेगा?
the Kabir moments.
Welcome to the Create Innovate Upgrade podcast. This is a podcast by students for students.
Where we have conversations and discussions to figure out stuff.
From finance to careers, upskilling, life, jobs, relationships, current affairs,
Anything and everything under the sun relevant
to the new you. This is your host, Abhigyan Gupta. I have with me the co-host for this episode.
Sai Prashanti Dara.
This episode is really different from our other episodes because in the first episode, we had a conversation with a person who was just my age. The second episode was a big jump to a 75-year-old war veteran. The previous episodes were with a teacher who is on her path to revolutionize education. This episode is with Tirth Dhami, who is like a cool senior slash a big brother to us. On one side, he's an adventure junkie, a trek leader. On one side, he's a full business guy running his family business, and on the other side, just a regular student like us.
Okay, I think that movie has also been a part of my life where I used to always see Kabir and I was like, dude, this guy, I just want to be like him. I want to travel the world in free, have free food where the company is paying me and I don't have to spend a single penny and I'll be earning a lot of money kind of a feeling. But still, when you are on trek, you don't meet Lara because there is no one wearing shorts. You don't meet, you might meet Nana, but she might not be interested in you at all. She has come for a self journey. You might not be allowed into drinking and smoking because trekking doesn't work like that. So that movie I used to always see, but whenever people used to say that let's go trekking because they have saw this movie and they have got this idea that the trekking will be like this. I'm like, guys, stop and hold your horses back because it's not gonna be like that. The trekking is a very different thing. And Kabir movement, I was a science student. I was about to take a chemical engineering and suddenly I stopped and I was like, I just don't want to do this. And there was this chemical engineering people, they were taking this form and they were not looking that happy. But when I saw this bachelor in management studies people, the BBA people, they were taking this form, they were so happy that they were like, now we don't have to study at all. We can just go and get past. And I don't want to study. I just want to get this life. So I took that form and I became a BBA guy. That was a sudden shift once. Second shift was when I was working in Decathlon and my you can say my supervisor was very much interested in pushing me. He was the one person who was actually helping me out to sort things. He used to be my mentor. He used to be my guide, and he's still my mentor. Whenever I feel like I want to talk to someone or I want to know, I directly call or text him because I don't know who else to go for. So he used to encourage me to go these treks while I'm working as well. I was working in Decathlon. He used to give me the time that by this time you should be here. Then I won't be mad at you. You do whatever you want in the other times, but you should be here by this time and you should be working. And I should see you at 9 o'clock sharp. And whatever you do at night, you do your work also. And that push when he gave me so many liberties about going to treks, exploring and everything, I really felt good. And then at one point we were just sitting, having a good time. And he suddenly said that, why are you even there in Decathlon? Like, what is your purpose in Decathlon? And I'm like, good question. I didn't had any other answer. And he asked me that, do you love trekking or what?
So I think you were talking about. Is it okay now? So yes, I was discussing just now about that
And
meeting people thing. So I think continue.
okay, so we'll just switch gears here. In the beginning, you said that you're not yet comfortable talking with people, or at least taking the first step. But then you got a perk of becoming a leader and trek leader, and people came up to you, right? And that's something everybody right now of our peer group is going through. Like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to go. I don't want to approach. What did you see when you started speaking to people? जनरल लोगों से बात करने से what's the advantages of just socializing?
I don't consider it as advantages, but I just see every person is very different because till now, how many teams I've led, in that I have not met a single person like same. Like if I've met around, you can say 500 people,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was different. Everyone was unique. Everyone was different in his own way. It doesn't matter if they're doing the same course or anything, but they are different. I've met twins also. Like I thought that I think I finally found someone who can be same. They would be having similar mindsets and everything, but I was wrong. I was like, they are so different because everyone has their unique thinking, everyone has their unique taste, and that's what makes me excited to socialize with people. um, as a trek leader, you can say it's kind of a thing that because I want to know my team as well. I want to know that who all are there with me who are coming on a trek. But apart from that, I really get excited when I actually hear some people stories. So today, I think there was this person I was randomly talking to, and I was like, how it is different and everything. And she just started explaining, and one thing led to another. And I was like, okay, there is something like corporate law also in our world where it's very different from each and everything. So many people nowadays are trying to pursue so many things, so many different to them. Someone is working as a collaborator, or someone is working as a researcher, analyst, influencer. Then you can say someone is working into back office. Now I don't know what back office is. I have literally no idea because some people say I'm working as back office as a marketing guy, someone say as a finance, someone say as a software, someone say as a hardware. So we have so many things which are going on, and sometimes I really get fascinated by corporate world, and I'm like, I really want to see what I have properly not been into one. I have been like, I've worked into office, but as I said, office doesn't suit me at all, and the office people don't like me because I keep moving while I'm working. So I was working in this travel firm as well, and I told my boss as well that I have this very bad habits. She's like, what kind of bad habits do you have? I'm like, I can't sit at one place and walk or like work. And she was like, is this a bad habit? I'm like, you will understand when I join the office. So she hired me. She hired me, and I was like, okay, now she has hired me. I think she likes my habit. So we both used to sit in the same, and I used to keep my laptop in my hand. I used to walk. I used to like tuck 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 tuck, and I used to work. And I used to pass her by every 2 minutes. I used to keep passing by her, and after a point, she got annoyed, and she called me. She's like, "Tit, are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm perfectly okay. Work is going well. She's like, uh, why you're roaming so much? I'm like, see, I told you in the interview also, I cannot stay. She's like, what is wrong with you people nowadays? I'm like, it's just the way. So I just mean by that that every person is so different that I from inside feel like to socialize. I just feel like to talking to person. And if you guys try to chat with me, I can just complete it in one word and I'll be done. But if you meet me face to face, or if you meet me as a person, I can just keep going. I'll be like, now you have come in my territory. Now you have come in my area, in my circle. Now I can't let you go because up to you. So I'll keep talking. So I think that is few of the incidents or few of the things which I really enjoy about people. And that's why it makes me curious to know more people. That's why I can't get settled with one. If I get settled with one, I won't be able to, talk with more people. She might just stop me. So,
Mm-hmm.
not taking any risk about it.
Like talking to you since yesterday you have started to give me a very fun bhaiya vibes. So like usually when I talk to people for these podcasts and things, there is a very strict schedule for it. Like one day we'll meet, I'll sit down with a
Very
paper,
formal.
bullet points, how many minutes for each point, and and actually that is something so different than what we actually prepared with you.
It's like we didn't prepare. हम गप्पे लगा रहे थे.
So like,
No, actually, I, yeah.
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, actually, I also thought that you will actually sit with paper and you'll have all these questions noted down. And if I just try to go off the track, you'll be like, hey, but I actually want like this. So can you just go? And I'm like, okay, I don't mind. And we would just stick to the schedule. But yeah, it's more like a sharing session, what I feel, than being like a proper strict kind of a thing. So I'm happy about it.
That's very good to hear because that's what we are aiming for. Because we just need advice, wisdom, and बस बातें करना है and all of that.
Like, what is this? Is this the same thing in your treks also? Like,
Um,
do you have to follow a proper strict schedule, or जब मन आया वो करना है?
I think Sai can tell you much more better. She's been there. I'm quite a
For the
strict guy.
listeners, I've
Um,
done a trek with Tirth. Yeah, my first ever
so
trek was amazing.
yeah, she was just flying here and there, just there. That's all I know. Talking to everyone. That's all I saw. Getting to know more things about everyone than me, because at every 10 minutes she was changing a person. That's how she was. She was so good at it. I was like, teach me, master. Teach me how you do this. How can you cut a conversation with someone and just move ahead? I'm like, I have to learn something from this girl. She has good experience in this.
Like your
So
habit of roaming around in the office. For me, I'm like, bolo bolo, and the person is getting tired. I'm like, bye bye. I'll talk to another person.
on treks, I have a proper schedule. I actually plan it out each and every day of mine. I write day one first. I have a habit of writing more than typing. So I keep my diary. I know what to do on these days. And if something goes wrong, if the weather is not good, if we reach late, if the team is not doing well, so what other things I can actually do. So I have all that prepared. So I go like a day one, 6 o'clock, we have to wake up, 7 o'clock, we have to do breakfast, 8 o'clock, we have to leave. It can be 8:15 max. Then we do some stretches, we start walking, because in mountains, after 2 o'clock, you can't predict what can happen there. Because after two, anything can change. The weather can change, there can be heavy winds, you might not be able to reach the campsite on time. So there are a lot of challenges. It can be misty, it can be foggy, it can be white out where you can't even see the person next to you. So a lot of challenges you usually come there. And should be aware of the possibilities that can go wrong as well. So sorry. So I try to keep myself on a schedule, but as soon as the trek starts, after a point, I'm like, it's okay. It's like you came here to actually have fun, actually to enjoy, to have your own time, to understand different perspective, to get experiences, and to learn. When you have all these things in mind, at that point the time fades away. Like the time goes like this, and I think that 4 days or 6 days or 10 days of treks, you just feel like, how did this even end? Like did we miss any days, or the sun didn't rise on that day? It's like directly the second day to fourth day. You have no idea, because when you are around with people with no phone, that's the beautiful moments that you are always gonna cherish. Like the time goes like this, like it just goes. And my whole year, I have been trek leading continuously, and I'm still not able to reflect properly that how my 1 year has already be gone. Like, what did I even do? Did I do something in this 1 year, or I was just sleeping, or it's just a good dream, or what it is? But it was the most beautiful thing that I ever experienced as a trek leader, also because from heart, I am
Mm-hmm.
all consider myself as a trek leader. I just have to make few decisions because of which I'm a trek leader. Otherwise, I just want to be a trekker because a trekker enjoys what's around. A trek leader commands, and I am not. I don't want to be that person who like, hey, chalo ye karte, chalo wo karte. It's like, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it as a team, and we'll try to make the best out of it. So when you do like this, people are also encouraged ki nahi, let's try it out something new, or let's learning how to pack a bag or learning how to pitch a tent are skills that people can only learn when they come outside or when they come outdoors for hiking or trekking.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, sitting at home, no one is gonna be like, chalo tent banate hain or chalo backpack karte hain. No one is gonna learn. No, people will be like, are you mad or what? Ghar pe kaun tent khulta hai? Bed laga ke बैठ जाओ यार तुम लोग करके. So it's just a very simple things, and it's like a survival thing, which in India I feel that it should be mandatory high schools or for people who should learn all these things. It's very important. And once they learn all these things, I think you don't require a tour operator or a trekking organization to take you anywhere. You can actually do it by yourself. And when you do it by yourself, you will actually get to know what trekking is. Because in trekking organization, people will arrange everything for you. They'll keep a chair also for you. They'll have a massage parlor as soon as you reach. Trekking companies does and all these things, but when you do trekking by yourself, that experience, it's like 100% now you are a trekker kind of a feeling that you can get when you actually do it by yourself. And I'm a big promoter of DIY treks. I keep telling people that it's better that you go with yourself or with your friends or you plan it out rather than going with any organization, because it saves money first. You learn by at harsh conditions, putting yourself into that conditions where at that point your body will say that okay, let's fight for our life, let's survive and come back home alive. That's how that feeling comes, and that's a beautiful feeling. People should experience it. So
Wow.
yeah. So
For
yeah, I keep it
someone,
on schedule.
for someone who is a real amateur, like just they haven't done any treks within organization or DIY treks.
ये जवानी है दीवानी vibes they have in their head.
So how can they actually
Of
start
course.
trekking? Like,
Um,
should they start with
yeah.
their DIY treks or just approach an organization which will help them go on the first trek?
See, I think in India we don't have that much of knowledge or we don't have that much of information where people can say that okay, it's my first time, I can directly go for a DIY. It's not
Hmm.
gonna happen. But I would suggest that select an organization who teaches you learn so that you are prepared for your next trek. If I go on a trek and if I just go and enjoy some, I have some good time, I have my drinks, I smoke, I come back, and when I come back I just remember all these memories, but within myself there is no, what you can say, that experience of something different. So I don't think so that impact. So select an organization which can actually help you to learn something out of it or to get out of the box so that you start learning. Keep
Hmm.
gathering knowledge, keep gathering information. Google has become a good baba nowadays, so all the information you get it on Google. But yeah, I think directly starting with a DIY is not a good option when you are actually, especially in India. I've seen a lot of backpackers who are from US and UK. School, they have just started going on DIY, and they got all this knowledge and information within school. When they went for these courses and
Wow.
everything, they learned. So there are few courses as well. There are wilderness first responder course. There are backpacking courses, which will help you to gather more and more knowledge and will give you an experience also. So there is an institute called NOLS. So that organization is based in US, and which actually teaches you how you can actually like pitch your tents, your backpacking, then how to light a fire, how you can cook your food in the easiest way, then how to survive at night, how to stay away from animals as well, what all things you can actually perform, how to stay in a team, why team building is important, why that trust is important, how you should actually have a relationship with your mates, then at a time of need what kind of medicines you can actually use it. But if we don't have such courses, then you start by going with an organization who can teach you. Go with a start with a
Mm-hmm.
4-day trek, and at that point I think two of my organizations which I have on my top of my head was, so I think first organization is IndiaHikes, with whom I have been working with other organization as well. But the way I have learned or I have evolved myself as a trek leader, that have actually happened in IndiaHikes. And second will be Go Out with Owls. It has been a startup kind of a
Owls.
organization, but yes, Go Out with Owls. And
Mm-hmm.
this is also one of the organization which teaches you a lot of things when you are in outdoors. But the first thing, you have to go with a very clear mindset that or you want to experience something different, not just fun. You are going to do it, you are going to enjoy, because trekking is fun. But at the same time, when you're going there, keep a very clear mindset or go blank. I only suggest this too. Even if you haven't good experience into trekking world, still go blank, so that you can grasp more and more things, rather than be like, oh, I have learned this tent, oh, let me see. You never know that the other person might give you some easy techniques or some different techniques that it might be helpful for you. And every trek leader or every person in outdoors is very different. They are unique in their own way, and they have quite a good experience. That's why they are surviving in outdoors. So try to take the best out of them, or try to learn as much as you can from them. That will help you a lot. Not like, not instantly as soon as you go home, you're not going to start outdoors, or whenever you are doing something, you can actually teach others, you can actually teach someone else also, that this is how you can do it, and you can pass on these learnings. And it is very helpful, so that people start learning and people start seeing a different side of trekking also, and not just ye jawani hai diwani vibes. And I hate that vibes. Currently, when I speak about that also, I hate that vibes. But Bunny is a good character. I don't um, hate him.
Great. While you're talking about the mindset, about either going blank or having a clear mindset, when in my first trek, that was with you, I had a thing wherein I was like, you know what, I will connect to the nature, I will just look at the nature, enjoy. But when I was there in the 7 day trek, I was talking to people continuously. And when I was alone, I was just thinking. I was like looking down, because you have to see, it's a very rugged, it's not a road, it's just the route, right? And then I was like, I thought I will look at the nature, but I became a part of the nature. And that is something very beautiful, which I did not expect. I did not realize till I came back and I was reflecting. And what I want to ask you about the connection we have with the nature. Like, it's in general, what has your experience been with the nature? How do you connect?
Hmm. Um, I think that everyone should be connected to nature, because it is the most where you're sitting also. Once it was a nature, once there were a lot of trees, lot of things around. It's just for our civilization that we have done all these things. And at one point, for survival, we did all these things. And I don't feel Yeah, we shouldn't do that. We should live in the tree house. It's not like that. We did it for survival, but the way things are going right now, it's not going that great because we are just pushing it to its extent. And I feel children's or the coming future, you can say, and they are the best people who can actually get connected because they are hungry. They are literally hungry for a lot of things. Right now, if I have to ask you that what you guys want to do, you will have thousands of things in your minds where you will be like, I want to do this, but I want to do this also. I want to do this also. Oh no, but he is doing this, so I'm interested in that also. But I read about this thing and that is quite amazing and I want to try that also. So there are a lot of things in your mind. Proper guidance, you actually become a part of nature. I think you can bring a lot of change. And nature is vast. Like, I connect on a very small things with nature. I love trees. I love to see trees in a very different perspective. We usually just tilt our face up and we see a tree. I just try to lie down next to the tree and just look up. I just
Wow.
love to have that small stones, that sands. People forget to actually, I actually tell my trekkers also sometimes that look out for these stones.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to look for them. I'll tell them the colors also, white color or blue
Mm.
color. And some of them will have this thing in their head that no, we are gonna see flowers. But some might just forget. And as soon as we reach the campsite, I'll ask them that, did you see flowers? Or did you notice something? And they'll be like, no, there was no flowers. And then I'll show them from my phone, see, this is a photo. This is a photo of a flower. How did that? They're like, where did you see? We didn't see any flower. I'm like, you have to be observant. You have to look around. Nature is full of distractions. It's a good distraction. And you are getting away from your phones to enjoy nature. And when you see these small things, it just makes you realize that what is this, like, how it can be here. Like recently, so I was in Sandakpur trek only. This was with some other team. So there was this trekker and she asked of this tree are on the one side only and not on the other side. And that was the first time I saw that. I didn't realize till that point. She didn't told me.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize, and I just saw up, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I have passed that place 6 times that by that time,
That time.
6 times, and I have never realized that. And I was like, how is that even possible? Why all the branches of the tree are on just one side and not the other side? You as a trek leader also don't know about things, and I'm like, and that hit very hard. Like that was like a realization point where I was like, I know everything about this area or I know everything
Mm.
about this part. But when she made me notice, I went blank. I was like, I'll get back to you. I was like that three idiots professor. I was like, I don't know why they didn't use pencil, but I'll get back to you. I'll give you that answer. And I got network, and that whole question was there in my mind for next 4 days, and I couldn't meet my eyes to her. I'm like, okay, don't ask the same question. I'll give you the answer when I get back. I studied it for the next whole day. I found few answers, and I messaged her that, hey, listen, it's because of the sunlight that when the sunlight is just falling at one part of the tree, the branches just grow there and the other side is dark. So usually the trees require sunlight and the branches also. So because like I already knew. And I was like, um, okay, sorry to send you this messages. Um, I didn't know what to send. She's like, no, I just wanted to know that do you know or not everything? And I'm like, of course not. I don't know everything. That is the whole point. But yeah, the way people see things, I have seen people being extraordinary with nature. I have seen a lot of transformations. I have getting so connected with nature, getting so connected that I just sometimes feel that I'm lacking, and they are the people who are inspiring me. Even though they have trekked with me, I have been the trek leader, but they were the inspiration for me to keep leading that trek or to keep going on. And I don't
Wow.
know till what time nature is gonna be there. I hope it survives forever. But that connection is very important. Things. And when you are in front of mountains, you just want to achieve each and every peak, but you cannot. And you are like, I'll do this next time and I'll go for it. And you feel till that point you were the person who knows everything. It's like you are the Ambani of your life and you have achieved everything of your life. And when you go in front of the mountains, and I don't think so I've done enough. Even though you have crores and crores in your account, you just feel like you don't have anything there. Like literally, you don't have anything. It's just you are so small in front of him, like so small. If the mountains start walking, you are gone. Like they'll just crush you. They, if they look so huge, imagine their one leg will just crush you up, and you are like, okay, I just need to run away from here. They will start focusing on my life as well, and that gives you a life perspective. So for me, trekking is just not walking into nature or talking to people or something. It's like a perspective that it gives for your life. It shows you how to be grateful, how to have patience, how you can be a good listener, how you can be a good observer, how you can actually trust people so easily there. Like, I still can't get the idea as trusting them. How? You start sharing your things, and here, if I just ask you that, can you give me 5,000? You'll be like, hey, I don't know you. There, if I ask you for your food and you will start sharing, you're like, let's sit together and share. Let's eat together. Let's talk. Let's enjoy. And the bonds are made instantly, and that bonds stays forever. Like till now, I see my trekking groups, trekking organizations, K groups, and all, and I'm like, how they are even talking? The trek is over. Like one, or they are planning to do the next trek together, even though they are not in contact. They are not. They just met for 4 days. 4 days of their life they spend with each other, and they are together forever. That what nature does to you. It just transforms you as a human. It just makes you realize that what is your life, or what, how to live your life, or I don't know. I've started trusting people more nowadays. Like I'm like, okay, you are a new person. I trust you. I don't do horrible things to others. I'm gonna trust you. I'll still take a leap of faith. So that faith, I think nature has given me that faith to trust people and to keep my life going. Sometimes I feel very negative when I'm away from nature because I'm very addicted to it. But I feel this addiction is good, and I love this addiction. So
Wow, it's so beautiful.
Like treks have changed my life also personally. Also, now I am speaking like I have done a lot of treks, but even going a couple times, it changed my perspective so much. See, you told me in the beginning that you are kind of a religious person. Since like I have been a 4-year-old child, I have been just fascinated with these religious stories. So like that one story about that Krishna ji picking up the whole Govardhan Parvat on his little finger,
yeah,
that that showed so much, that actually highlights so much of these qualities. Like the whole village was just near that Govardhan Parvat, and they had
yeah,
to be made aware that that has some importance in people's lives. The rain isn't caused by some person sitting up, but it is caused by that cloud hitting that mountain, and that nature
yeah.
is in front of you. You have to worship it, you have to be connected to it, and all that needed was just one miracle of picking up the whole mountain on one finger. So, like, how has this touched your religious side? Because you told me about that horror story. You were alone in the dark.
Yeah.
You must have just recited that Hanuman Chalisa part.
Oh, I won't say Hanuman Chalisa, but whatever I've learned, we call it Path Sutra kind of. I completed everything in that 5 minutes of gap. I've completed everything. I was super fast. I was super fast than a train also, and I just like completed. I was like, save me, someone save me.
For the listeners, you could repeat that horror story.
Okay. So basically, so we were going for this. We were three people, and we were just going. It was my first night trek, and that night trek was kind of my first time that I was going out in Shayadris. Specifically, the trek was known as Prabal Machi, and we three of them, we started walking in the dark. Did that, okay, now this is the first time I'm gonna do with the torch lights and in the dark, and I'm gonna walk inside the forest, and I'm gonna get goosebumps like I've seen in the videos, and I'm just gonna enjoy. And I started, and they kept me first. They are like, Tirth, you know the route? And I was so overconfident. I'm like, yeah, I know the route. I am the person who knows everything. Karke. I have been here like couple of times. I know the route. And I can take you at night also. I'm so good at it. And they were like, okay, you lead. And I was like, so easily you gave me big trust party. So we started with three of them. We started. And my head thoughts was going on. Like everyone, we were walking, and we can just hear our footsteps. We stopped talking after a point, and we were just walking in a line, and our footsteps we can just hear. We can just walking, and after a point I can just hear my footsteps and nothing else. And I was like, what's wrong? Why can I just hear my footsteps? There are more two people behind me. And I just turned back. When you are in forest, you should never turn back. Never. At night you should never. And eventually I did. I was scared a bit, but still I did because I wanted my friends to be there with me. So I turned back and there was no one. The torch lights were gone. The steps were gone. And I just thought where this birds went. And I got scared because I'm standing in middle of the forest, no one around, and it's 1 hour to reach the base campsite at the top. And I don't know what to do. And up, you can say a drop of tear about to just start. Like it was just about to start, and this friends just arrived and they're like, "Dude, look at this spider, it's so unique." I'm like, you should inform me. You guys should inform me and tell me that you guys are going somewhere, and I would be waiting around. And they are like, no, no, we found this fascinating. I'm like, okay, don't do it next time because I'm shit scared now. They're like, Ari, you know the route. No, what is this? I'm like, it's not about route, my friends. And this
It's
is the
about
first
life.
time I'm doing night trekking. Yeah, it's about my life because, and I bragged to them that I've done many night treks, so I am very much okay with it. But they didn't know it was my first one. So yeah, you do all these things right in front of your friends where you are like all brave and all, and then at one point, my friends, I was not that good about it. So yeah, but I think that one moment I really enjoy after that. So after reaching the campsite, you see all these stars and all. So then they started telling me their stories about how this night trek they started doing and how did it excited them. So they shared their stories, and I was so fascinated about it. I was like, I from now on I'm gonna do more night treks. I'm gonna try not to get scared. Like walking in the forest, it's scared, it's chilly, it's dark, but all you have to do is take a break at a point, just look up, you will see trees around you and stars twinkling continuously. And if you have a moonlight, the moon is going to be your torch. You won't even require a torchlight. It's just a moon which is gonna guide you till the top. And once you reach at the top above the forest on the meadows, and when you again see the, oh god, you are like, what on earth did I do that I deserve that moments. And that moment just stays with you forever. That it just stays. It is not gonna go anywhere. Even though you write, even though you express to anyone, you're gonna keep doing that. So I have this one of my trekkers, so I meet him on a constant basis in Mumbai itself. And he has done just one trek with me, just one. That was 2 days trek. And till now, whenever we meet, a year, he still talks about it continuously. And I'm like, how much did this 2 days affect you? He's like, Tirth, you have no idea. You literally have zero idea how much that 2 days of trekking have affected me. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop talking about it. And I just want to go for one more. I'm not able to. And whenever I see you, I just want to tell you that I had the best time of my life. And I want to keep going on with it. And I'm like, go. Like I'm just like, go. And he's like, I just then he just changed the topics. I don't know how people have these skills also. They are so good at
Mm.
changing topics. And then talks about food, and I'm good when it comes to food, so I get distracted. Yeah, very true. Before starting the podcast, I was having good amount of food so that I can survive the whole podcast. That's how it was.
I think you survived it really well.